Here we are back once again with the Power Mac 4400-200. Now, in this video, we're going to be installing, hopefully, macOS 8.1. Before I do that, I want to show you how long it takes macOS 9.1 to boot. So, let's get started. Okay, I'll consider that loaded. So you just saw how long that took. According to the camera, about 2.5 minutes. I think there'll be a little bit less time once the actual counter comes into play because I had the video intro, so use that too. One other thing that is different is I switched out my monitor adapter. You'll notice that I now get more options on this, and that is because I've actually switched this to this Mitsubishi adapter that is running in 17-inch multi-scan mode. Now this is a 19-inch monitor, so it's still not going to run at native res. 1024 by 768 is the maximum that this adapter will support, at least unless I bump it up to the 21-inch. And I don't know, I could try that and see what happens, but I don't know if that's really going to work. So we'll leave it at that. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to insert my macOS 8.1 disk, and we're going to try and boot it up by changing the system startup disk on this. See if it'll work that way. If not, I'll have to reboot it and option boot it. So, I've learned something about this machine. The optical drive in this, which is the standard issue CD-ROM, the 8-speed CD-ROM, will not read RW media. I think that's the first time I've had a problem with that. Actually, no, that's not quite true. I did have a problem with it in something else. Although I don't remember what system that was, but I know I've run into the problem before recently. So I had to actually, I had to go find my macOS 8.1 disk. But I found it. So, here it is. So I'm going to try and do the switch this way. We'll see if it'll actually let me do that. Not 100% sure it will. It sounds like it's going to. That's the hard drive. Well, you can't hear it now because... Oh yeah, here we go. Booting into the Mac OS from CD. So I'll give that a bit of time. Okay, well, here we are, one coaster later. So, let's see. What I want to do first is to run drive setup. I think that's what I want to run. This doesn't even have HDSC setup on it. But I'm going to format that drive completely. We're going to do initialize. We'll just do a standard. And then hopefully we can change the name. I'm not convinced this keyboard actually works, although the C key was able to get this thing to start. Okay. So we're installing everything. Because I chose to install everything. I don't think this is quite the right disk. I don't think this is the disk that I wanted. I think this is the European disk for macOS 8.1, but that's fine. I don't really care that much. So, I guess we'll let it do its thing. It's already installed the macOS. I went through all the process, renamed the disk, and started that and went to go deal with something else. So, oh yeah, this is the UK install, that's why. But that's fine. I don't think it really matters that much. Like I said, I chose to install everything, so we might as well just install everything. Okay, we'll quit out of that because that's now done, and I'm going to actually go through the rest of this stuff here and see if there's anything that I should install. I can't imagine there's much. But, might as well, right? Since I've got a 2.1 gig disk, I might as well install stuff. And I've also got some other stuff that I'm going to install on this from different CDs once this boots. Okay, so we've done all the install. I don't think the disk is ejectable because that's where the system software is. So we'll just reboot it. I'll see if I can find the eject button for the optical. Take the disk out. Now it's booting to the hard drive, which is good because that's what it should be doing. I have to set this up to my liking. And again, install more software from other disks and such. I would like to find the Ethernet, well, not the Ethernet, but the riser card for this so I could install an Ethernet card, whether it's PCI or otherwise. You see, I've installed everything. At least whatever I could. I couldn't install any of the Adobe software because it wouldn't let me do it. I might have to install that from, if I put the disk in there and install it while we're running from the hard drive, it might work. Maybe I'll try that. I'll just have to get some other software together as well. Some things I want to load on this. Oh, computer is set to go into sleep. Well, I'd prefer it never did that. Oh, here comes the setup assistant. Alright. Never. There. So I'll run through this. And we'll go from there. Okay, I've got all the software installed and everything set up on this computer the way that I want. Let's take it from the top with boot up and see how long it takes now that I've changed it to OS 8.1. Okay. We'll call it okay there. Control strip loaded. So, less than 2 minutes, certainly. Probably around a minute and a half. Not bad. That's definitely an improvement. So... As mentioned, I've installed a couple of things here. See, there's quite a bit of stuff in here. Installed a Microsoft Office and other related things. Stuff in Expander, stuff that that you need for the computer. This is just Office 4.2.1, nothing special. But the one thing that is interesting that I've installed is Insignia Soft Windows 3.0, which you can see right here. It makes noise. Tries to sound like an old IBM PC, even though I think it's running DOS 6.22, or it's emulating DOS 6.22. Yeah. And of course, it's got Windows and all that on it. 800 by 600 with 256 colors. With Noteware. Not the fastest thing in the world, but it does work. And it's just like running Windows on your Macintosh. If you could actually do such a thing back in the day. It's actually not bad for being emulation and running on a completely different hardware architecture. Complaining with a printer that I don't have. Not the greatest, but, it works. Of course, the date and time is wrong. I think that's because the date and time on the computer. No, that's correct. Sounds weird to hear that on a Mac. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all that I've got for this. I don't think there's anything else that I need to talk about. What am I looking for? I'm not looking for monitors and sound. I'm looking for... I don't even remember what I was looking for. Honestly. I forget. There was something that I wanted. Oh, the date and time, that's right. I wanted to adjust this thing here. You can see there's definitely some English-specific things here. Of course, it's not Y2K compliant or anything like that. So... I believe that there is an update that you can apply to these older versions in the Mac OS. I have to find it. that would allow you to set this properly, but I'm not 100% sure. Either way, I don't really have much else. Might as well open up something from Microsoft Office, if I can figure out where it is. I don't know, PowerPoint 4. Sounds as good as anything else. I think this might be the same version that's on, oh, look at this. Sure. I love it that they use a PowerBook Duo. It's worth noting that this is the PowerPC version, or the PowerPC optimized version. I don't know how long this demo really is, but I might show this off later. Yeah, looks pretty good. I think this might actually be the same version that's on the Performa 550 right now. I'm not 100% sure on that. I'm also curious, greatly, how much memory that uses. And if you use basically none at all. What happens if I also run soft Windows? I'm not sure why it has to register every time. As if a 486 would actually sound like that. Which is what this emulates. This emulates a 486. Later versions emulated a Pentium. Yeah, you won't hear that on a Macintosh very often. Again, let's see how much memory that's using. Yeah, that's not too bad either. So this would be pretty good for multitasking. I feel like Office would use more if I actually had like a full-scale template open. Slightly different version of Excel. No. There's no templates in this version of Excel. Back over to the Finder here. It's actually using more memory than PowerPoint. That's kind of interesting. Let's open up the Word README file. For the Power Macintosh. So you can see there. Let's try switching back to PowerPoint. Close that. Let's see. Let's run through one of the wizards. That's about what all my videos are like. See if we're using more memory now. Not really. Could make another new PowerPoint. These mosquitoes out here are crazy, I'm telling you what. Holy crap. See, actually, no, it's still not using any more memory than it was before. Although I can reopen that and see if it still says the same. Yeah, it's still the same. So, anyway, I think that's enough screwing around. I could move this mouse here. And go ahead and close all this stuff. That's pretty much it for the video anyway. This particular clip is 15 minutes, so I'm sure nobody's watching this video at this point anyway, but there you go. There's the complete resetup of a Power Macintosh 4400-200 with a more appropriate operating system. As mentioned, they ship with 7.5.3, but I think that OS 8's a little bit more well-suited to the machine. So, hopefully I'll have this machine set up in a presentable format at some point here in the very near future. But for now, this is CP666 signing off, and I'll see you next time. Till then.